Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom, the walking, talking encyclopedia. Mandukya Upanishad, the science of Om and Brahma. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery, Divyank, the divine design of nature with which the perfect objects are designed and created. Divyank is the reward of 60 years of integrated education. Impeccable wisdom is enlightening, and integrated knowledge is empowering. Let's talk of Mandukya Upanishads. Is one of my favorite Upanishads. It belongs to other Veds and is the smallest Upanishad with only 12 verses. But all the 12 verses are my favorite because they have taught me something how to be precise, concise, to the point, and be scientific with a minimum thing but maximum wisdom. From that angle, let me talk about Mandukya Upanishad, the verse 1. Let me not repeat Sanskrit shlokas, but they have been given for the people who are truly interested in that. Let me give my own transliteration or my commentary. The first verse says, the greatest or the sarvam syllable or the letter is Om or the word is Om. The greatest word is Om. That is underlying statement. This Upanishad centers around Om only. Om is omnipotent, Om is omniscient, Om is omnipresent. The message is very clear. The formless, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, all-pervasive universal consciousness is Om. That's it. Now, second point which stands out is Om is the past, Om is present, Om is the future. That means all pervasive. Whatever is there beyond the threefold, the past, present, and future, is Omkara. The symbol of Om, we can say the manifested past, the manifested present, and future, and the unmanifested absolute truth is Om. So, quote in quote, this Upanishad is going to talk only about Om and nothing more than that. The second verse brings it very clearly to the point. Om syllable is Brahma. In other words, phonetic sound or the mantra Om is a representation of Lord Brahma, the first Lord of creation. Hence, you can always say, if Om is Atma, then Atma is Brahma. So another very precise point to be noted is this equation between Om, Atma, and Lord Brahma, the creations. Then it also talks about Atma is made of 4 parts. So, Brahma, Om, Atma, and all the 3 are made of 4 parts. Very interesting. According to Akhand Vidyashram, Om represents Brahma, and I have given the picture of Mooladhara Chakra, which is the first chakra in which Atma sleeps or Kundalini sleeps, has the picture of child Brahma or Bal Brahma put in this particular symbolic representation. Is it a coincidence? Or Tantra Vidya on one side and this Upanishad on the other side are saying that Kundalini, Atma, Antaratma, Mooladhara Chakra, Bal Brahma, the child Brahma, they are all associated with Mooladhara Chakra alone. So now things are very clear. step by step we are moving towards the kind of wisdom we should be thankful for. The third verse says, it talks about waking state or Jagrita, and during this particular state of waking consciousness, we should get to know the complete wisdom of the external world. All the data, information, knowledge, and wisdom of the entire external world should be perceived during waking stage. That means all our education should be focused on Gyan Yoga, knowledge, and done. But it also says, third verse says, that waking state, our Jagrita Sthana, has 7 limbs and 19 faces. Let me not go into details of what 19 faces represent, because that has been something which I would not dealt, and it doesn't make much of sense to me to talk of that. But 7 limbs are 7 parts of waking consciousness have always made me understand that waking consciousness is made of 7 parts. Dreaming is also 7 parts. Susupta is also 7 parts of the deep sleep, and Turiya is 1. This 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 1 has also made me understand that Brahmalok, or the first stage of creation, which is equivalent to 22 by 21, and its foundation is found in Mandukya Upanishad's 3rd verse itself. Another point to be noted is during waking stage, or Jagrita state, we experience the external solid world, the earth element, all what is gross, which is solid, formed, annamaya, should be experienced during waking consciousness, and that is what awareness is also. So you can also say it's the first state of awareness at the beginning of data, information, knowledge, wisdom to acquire from the entire world. And that's it. And I have put a picture of my own medical college along with my 2 classmates and friends, that we used in first 22 years of our life to acquire the kind of data, information, knowledge, and wisdom of all the subjects, starting from maths, physics, chemistry, biology to medical subjects, or almost every subject, quote in quote, was acquired, gathered in waking state during first 22 years of my life. So this was very practical. Third verse. Coming to the fourth is about dreaming stage or Svapna Sthano. During this, we talk of the internal wisdom. Waking, it is external wisdom, and during dream, it's the internal wisdom. It has also 7 limbs and 19 faces. As I told you, 7 limbs makes a lot of sense, 19, no way. If during Jagrata it is the gross matter, and during dream what we are going to experience is subtle light objects, and that's where one thing has been made very clear, that dreaming is nothing but tejas. So our tejas are the light within the body which is going to be experienced in a dream state, in a very subtle state, and that also has a lot of sense in itself. So you can say, Swapna, the dreaming state of consciousness, it's essential for cognition of internal effulgence of light. And the picture here I've shown of my brain, and you can see the light within the brain, which we see during dream, and this can be in dream we form lot of my understanding of past lives and even present and future was seen in dream form within my brain ever since my young days. So that I can totally understand the 4 verse is talking about. If you want to cognize subtle aspects or light of the objects of the internal world, you have to be aware of dreaming state, and you can learn quite a lot during dreaming state. From that 4th verse makes a lot of sense. Now let's go to the 5th verse, and it talks about where one, being fast asleep, does not desire anything and does not see any dream, is deep sleep. Mean during deep sleep, the Susupta state, you do not see, you are fast asleep. You are not aware of anything. You are not being aware of the external world. You are not even aware of the internal world. You are not have dream. You have absolutely nothing. During the third stage of deep sleep, one congresses one state of blissfulness and the wisdom of four directions and dimensions. So that way I can say you will literally become aware of the essence of the external world and internal world in a very blissful, peaceful state of the mind where you see all the four dimensions. Like with the open eyes, to the best of my knowledge, the entire world can see in three dimensions: length, breadth, and depth. Dream also, you invariably see three dimensions: length, breadth, and depth. But I'm made to understand through this that during deep sleep, you become aware of the fourth dimension, which Einstein called it time and space. If that is thing, then it makes a sense from this point of view. Okay, yes, in a third state of consciousness, a sushupta, a deep sleep, everything is in essence, you can feel the essence of it, but at the same time, in all the directions in four dimensions. And the picture there is of soul consciousness or helium 4. Coming to sixth verse, it says, this is omnipresent Lord of everything. This is omnipresent wisdom of everything. This is omniscient concept of everything. This is the ultimate source of everything. This is the beginning of everything. This is the end of everything. In other words, quote in quote, all the dimensions, all the characteristics of Atma are well described here. Omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, all being in from the beginning to the last, everything is one, and you get that into that particular stage. And this could be also related during Sushupta stage. Now the seventh verse, the fourth state of wisdom is the self which is beyond reach of the sight, words, cognition, imagination, thinking, attributes, bliss, quiet, dualities, knowledge, etc. This is self-soul, knowing which everything is fully known. This is superconscious state of Turiya. This is fourth state of. Now, having spoken about waking consciousness, Jagrita, dreaming, Svapna, deep sleep, Susupta. Now the fourth, the Turiya state, which is actually nothing, just being aware of only soul consciousness, which is beyond sight, beyond words, everything. But I know, from a common point of view, people are not able to see their soul at all. But let me tell you, from my experience, I can see my own soul. I have seen it within my brain in the ventricles with the help of maybe Pragyan chakra or pineal gland, third eye. But from that I can. But at the same time, let me also put it across. This particular expression is a common person who has not realized. This is just giving a theoretical knowledge of four states of consciousness to a person who hasn't started the initial journey. Is not talking of the one who is self-realized. Is only talking of the nature of the particular thing. From that angle, verse 7 makes a lot of sense. Now verse 8 says, this is a self is the label of Om. So coming back to again, the first one, which talking of Om. 1 to 7 have description of all the four states of matter, including starting from Om to Atma, to waking consciousness, to dreaming consciousness, to Sushupta, to Turiya. Now once again talking about the concept of the same thing to bring forth the characteristics of Om first. This is the elemental form. It is made of the following three elements. Now it's talking about Om, which is the ultimate in the beginning. Now this says it is made of actually three parts. Akara A, Ukara U, Makara M. Akara, Ukara, Makara is the three components which are called Om. This is the ultimate truth to be known. Anyone who can experience A of Om, U of Om, M of Om independent would have the wisdom of the entire universe within the body he can experience. That's the ultimate truth. That's what everyone. During that external world, waking consciousness, which has got cause and effect, is experienced with Akara. Internal world, dreaming, is Ukara. Prajna, the deep sleep, which has also cause and effect, is through Makara. And then beyond that, Turiya state is beyond the cause and effect. Three have cause and effect. They are restricted within time frame. But Turiya is beyond. It is universal. Although it says cause is for a common man, he or she will not be able to see the cause. But I know Turiya state you are going to see soul, which has come from sun, an adjective form. So there is, but that is for totally enlightened, self-realized person. So we can say omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, all-pervasive universal consciousness is Om. You can say Om Tat Sat. Om is that truth. Coming to 9. We have spoken Om again. Now we are going to speak of the waking consciousness Jagrita. The slaver Vaishnavara, the person who experiences the first state of waking consciousness Jagrita, is the first element Akara. The person who knows this truth will obtain all the desires of the external world. By experiencing Akara within your body, you can get all the desires of the external world, which could be health, wealth, wisdom, happiness, etc. And the essence of teaching, this is the essence of teachings of the Vedas. The first state is literally makes you like a king. This is a picture of Lord Ashoka with all the things. People who have experienced will be very popular, very healthy, very rich, very prosperous, and really magnanimous. From that angle, that is where most of the people finally are very happy with experience of within the human body itself. So now let's go to the next stage. 10th. Stages, the effulgence, as I told you, is with dreaming consciousness, is essence of state of dreaming consciousness, is the level Yukara or you. This is a result of ascending revolution exaltation. That means what was Atma or Kundalini or Antaratma or healing force sleeping in Muladhara chakra has arisen. Now it's starting to rise up. Then such a person who started rising to the higher and higher thing would be of knowledge of spirituality unfolding starts, and such person is invariably born into the family where knowledge of Brahman, Nirankar, Brahman or spirituality is the focus. So from that angle, this also verse 10 also makes a lot of sense. Okay, this is the beginning of spiritual journey of revolution and thereby evolution. Now verse 11. In deep sleep, the prajna, the essence of the second state of deep sleep is the slaver makara, This arises from the root, mitra, which represents the state of merging. That means, in third state of consciousness, all what we have the external world knowledge, this is merging into one part. You literally become a sense of universal consciousness at this stage. So you have withdrawn from the external world, which Patanjali talks about a pratyahara. Then in the process you will be able to understand in the process of dharana, dhyan and samadhi, one concentrated thing. So In the deep sleep, you are literally brought everything within the body. When you are not aware of external world, you are just untouched by that, but you are aware of the absolute wisdom within this. Is also a very interesting point which can be quote in quote with respect to Patanjali Yoga Sutra or Akhand Yoga can be called a state of samadhi. In that absolute wisdom, a prakriya is known. So, very classified approach. Now, the last verse 12 says, the fourth state of wisdom has no element. It cannot be spoken of. It is non-dual. The three worlds are resolved into it. The slaver Ankara is the real self. The person who knows this enters the self. Now you can see the down picture is a helium core within the sun. That means you have come back home for good. That means in a fourth state of Turiya, you are one with the soul, and as a result, you know everything about universal consciousness, one and all. So, this is the one which makes you recognize, having recognized the external world during waking thing, subtle during dreaming, and a sense during deep sleep. Here you become continuously aware of the whole thing completely. And that is one at the end has to be known, and that is what is emphasized in Mandukya Upanishad. From that angle, I would definitely say, barring from small particular correction which needs to be done in Mandukya Upanishad with respect to the third state, which is made into one, actually this should also have 7 parts of deep sleep or Susupta. Otherwise, I cannot find fault, but I can say all the 7 have been put into one because all the essence is there. You could be aware of all the 7. At this particular juncture, let me also show you a picture which I have already spoken about Brahma Lok or Lord Brahma, where you have 7 aspects of earth element, Atal to Patal, then 7 external chakras of the body which are connected with chest. You can say lower part 7 is from abdomen, A, U is with the chest, Ma is with the head, Ma, Om. And then going beyond to 22nd level is Brahmalok, or Lord Brahma is equal to 22 by 21. That essence is very clear. But this essence of Mandukya Upanishad is also beautifully, in a very cryptic form, talked about in depth in a very cryptic story form in Chandogya Upanishads. Now, having explicitly understood this, let me take you to that aspect of Chandogya Upanishads where you are also talking of the same state of Jagrita, dreaming, Svapna, Susupta, deep sleep, and Turiya. But in that particular Upanishads, mathematical design is very confusing for them. Many other people have not been able to understand why the first phase is for 32, second phase is for 32, third phase is also 32, and the last is 5. 32 plus 32 plus 32 plus 5 is a hidden mathematics there which to the best of my knowledge, I haven't found somebody who has brought it down to 22 by 21. Whereas Mandukya Upanishad is very clear, 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 1 is 22. So next, let's go to that next one to talk about it, and I'm sure that would be very enlightening for anyone how the ancient Indian sages told the same story in a very cryptic form so that only the people who are in tune with the universal consciousness are totally enlightened with waking state, in dream state, in deep sleep, and also in Turiya are the finally one. And that way, Chandogya Upanishad will be fantastic. Let's wait and see. Now, coming back to this, is the same story is represented. So, I don't need anything other than this particular picture to explain A to Z. And of course, the chakras are there. And of course, the picture of a Akhand is also there. So let's not waste time now. For this moment, let me leave with Mandukya Upanishad. That is such a beautiful, precise, concise representation of Om, Lord Brahma, and Soul, all the three in one, beautifully described in a shortest form with a crystal clear description of the nature, characteristics, and of course, built-in anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and psychology of our soul, our Lord Brahma. So thank you very much. Let's move to the next one.